It's that extra day that we get every 4 years, February 29th, 2024. Used to pay attention to this stuff because of the Olympics, and then they took the separation and saying, we're not going to have the Olympics in the same year every year. We'll have the Winter Olympics every 4 years, but we're going to stagger them. So this is a Summer Olympic year.
Correct.
And the Winter Games will be 2026, if I'm not mistaken. So when did they do that? Was it back in the 1990s?
When they stopped, the Winter Games used to be, I thought, in the middle between the 4-year gap of the Summer Games. And that's not what they're doing now, is it?
No, they are doing that now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they used to be in the same year.
Right, yeah.
And I want to say they made that change around like 1992.
That sounds probably right, somewhere in that area.
Seems like Lillehammer seems to make sense.
I never knew her.
So she was not related to Jan Hammer, from what I understand. So
Lily the Hammer.
Good to have you here. Welcome to the program. We never rehearse how we're going to start the program, and as you can tell, that's how it starts right there. We are putting a wrap on February today, getting ready for March. Will it be a lion or a lamb arrival?
Yeah.
Mike's got to look at what's going on with our weather for us and what is shaping up weather-wise. Not as turbulent as it was yesterday.
Yeah, it tried to go out like a lion yesterday. Aaron and I talked about this briefly yesterday. For information that we knew at the time, there were at least 5 or 6 confirmed tornadoes yesterday. The closest one to us was an EF1 in London over in Madison County, but there have already been 4 or 5 added to that, and the National Weather Service says there's likely to be even more. Their investigators have to go out and look at the sites to determine whether or not it was straight-line winds or tornadoes. There was some film footage of Wright-Patterson Air Force Museum that received some damage. That could end up being another one of those added, but much nicer weather today, sunny and 44, cloudy with a chance of rain tomorrow and a high 51. They're talking about upper 60s to near 70 on Saturday.
And I had seen Monday is 71 for the high.
Which it's kind of neat. We warm up for Statehood Day celebrations that are coming up.
Yeah, and I remember when we had the bicentennial, we had snow.
Yes.
That was rather interesting. What was it, 2003 we did that? It seems like yesterday, but man, that's been 21 years now.
Just like yesterday.
Yeah.
Once more.
All right, coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date with news. We'll also take a look at sports and this date in history. The Litter Media Wayback Machine goes to where?
1940.
1940.
In the movies.
When Mike was just a little boy.
Yes, sir.
Details in just a bit. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. For nearly 5 decades now, they've been taking care of those comfort issues in your homes. If you have questions, it's not only homes. They'll take care of businesses, too. In fact, I saw one of the bank buildings that are building downtown. There was a big Accurate sign out in front. They're putting in the heating and cooling system in that bank location. So if you want to find out more, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you right to accuratehvac.com, which is their website for accurate heating, cooling, and plumbing. News is next.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
And where can we get details on what Dan and Mike tell us about on a regular basis? Simply start your day with littermedia.com. You can also search here on Facebook or Litter Media X, and check out our YouTube channel as well. Subscribe. It's free, as is everything that you see here. And we start the news off with Statehood Day, which again is coming up this weekend. The actual date is the 1st, which is tomorrow. But Statehood Day events will take place on Saturday. And we caught up with Darren Baker from the Ross County Historical Society earlier today, a conversation with Mike Smith to talk about what people can expect on Saturday.
You may see this poster hanging about throughout the town. It'll have a list of all the dates and times and all the attractions. We are open. The Heritage Center are open from 12 to 4. Adena Mansions is from 10 to 4. The David Nickens is from 1 to 4. Lucy Hayes is from 10 to 4. And the Genealogical Society is 9 to 4. I think they're open a lot longer than everybody else because they're hoping people will come in and search their history.
All right.
And, of course, all those events are free. And if you've not been there for a while, it's important for you to learn more about our history. And this is a big time because everything started in Ohio here in Chillicothe. I know Marietta, of course, was the first fort built and all that kind of stuff. But as it progressed, Chillicothe became the main hub for everything in the Great Northwest Territory. And so if you've lived here for a while, never learned that history, it's worthwhile this coming Saturday. It starts with a Statehood Day breakfast up at the First Presbyterian Church. And hats off to Bill and Linda Hernstein, the recipients of the Statehood Day Citizens Awards.
And if you missed that interview with Darren from earlier this morning on Facebook Live, you can go back to Facebook or check out our YouTube site here later today.
It's up there right now, actually.
He's got it up. And probably on Litter Media Radio.
The voice of Aaron Glandon makes a presence.
He's the man. He's the man. Area health departments are promoting their Cribs for Kids programs. Ross County Health District serves both Pike and Ross counties, qualifying families in need of a child's safe sleep space. Ross County Health District can provide a free pack and play to caregivers of babies under 1 year old in both Pike and Ross counties who can't afford a safe sleep space. You can go to this QR code that you see on the screen or call their office. Now, in a related note, Pickaway County Public Health also is participating in this, but they're doing it only for their Pickaway County residents, and that also has a QR code, same program, just in different counties, where you can get signed up.
Scan that with your phone if you want, and that way you can find out more information right there. Maple syrup festivals, they are here. Yay. Because the sap is flowing. Maple syrup festivals throughout Ohio, out of several listed in our story, in the month of March, the closest to us is over in Hocking Hills. Maple Sugaring in the Hills is what it's called, March 9th through the 10th, so that's next weekend, noon until 4 p.m. You can step into the Naturalist Cabin behind the Old Man's Cave Visitor Center to learn the art of turning local maple sap into syrup. Discover the rich history of syrup production through live demonstrations. A local maple syrup producer will be on site selling their products. Used to be a location there close to our house that they had this pipe running all the way through the forest. And I thought to myself, what is all this? And come to find out, every year they tapped their trees, and there was one little tiny house right next to Morgan's Fork Road. There was like a little shed. And in that shed is where all those pipes funneled the syrup or the sap right down to there. How fast can you funnel sap? I don't know.
Now, can any maple tree give syrup or sap?
That I don't know.
I was asking Aaron that yesterday. He couldn't answer that question.
You have to
All
ask
he
him
said,
really nicely.
he wants it on his pancakes. That's all he could respond.
Yes. And pancakes are much better with syrup, despite what Mike says.
Yeah.
So
I just take butter or margarine on mine. The Pickaway County Veterans Spring Appreciation Event. That's coming up in Pickaway County, March 19th through the 22nd, between 9 and 3, Tuesday through Friday. And that's located at 141 West Main Street in Circleville, Suite 300. Now, the gifts that are being given out to the veterans will be there through that time frame or until the cards are gone. So don't delay. You veterans, we appreciate you, and there's some nice gifts up there for you.
I was just thinking about this yesterday as I was driving past the new Ross County Community Action Shelter there on Eastern Avenue. I left the loft here, and I was making our way out to Southeastern High School. It's been open for 2 months, going on 3 months now. Yeah. It's incredible. Opened up in mid-December, and of course, they find themselves helping the homeless each and every day. Now, keep in mind, they're seeing 70 people each day now. Due to the overwhelming response from the community, they are no longer accepting clothing item donations, but they are in need of other types of supplies. So if you want to find out more details, you can take a look at what we have here. We're talking about lunch meat, bread, coffee, creamers, other supplies like paper towels and that sort of thing, and backpacks. A lot of these folks that don't have a way to carry what belongings they do have, they ask for backpacks. You can call 740-702-7222 to help out with the Community Resource Center.
Tickets are on sale now to be among the first to find out who the headliners will be for the Lancaster Festival 40th anniversary. Second Gear will kick off the night at 7 p.m. on April the 6th at the Eagles Event Center, with a live auction and silent auction taking place all night. You can visit lancasterfestival.org or call 687-4808 to purchase yours today. Now, last year they had Sheryl Crow. What was Grammer's first name? Andy?
Andy Grammer, yeah.
So that was big for year 39. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine what the 40th anniversary might have for entertainment.
It seems to me that off camera, one of the interviews we were talking about, this was before the interview actually started, she was like super excited but could not tell us anything. And so who knows?
Dan Ramey is going to be playing his musical instrument.
No, that would be a huge disappointment for a number of folks, I'm sure. Yeah. Although I did get a photo sent to me yesterday, I believe it was, of myself, Ryan and Ryan. Mm-hmm. Remember Ryan and Ryan? And also a pastor from up in Circleville area playing our trombones and a saxophone. 3 bones and a sax.
3 bones and a sax. That's a great name for a group.
Or some might say 3 slush pumps and a sax as well. Yeah. So maybe we can share that photo with you a little bit later on here. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at sports as we find ourselves in the tournament trail. Teams are falling left and right. Some of that happened here last night, but some are advancing. So we'll tell you more about that coming up in just a bit. First, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Cleanup jobs, they can do that. Demolition work, they can do that. You're doing it on your own, you need a dumpster, they can do that. 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Tell Carl, Dan, and Mike sent you.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
Remember to visit ChillicotheOhio.com is the web address for the music that you hear on Litter Media Radio.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
You don't hear anything on Litter Media Radio.
Well, I know, but when people hear the replay of this, they will hear that music.
Yeah.
If you're listening live to Litter Media Radio right now, you're not hearing anything. But you're hearing it, but you're not hearing what we were referring to.
What we were hearing there. Yeah. Sports, don't forget to join us at noon today for our Litter Media Thursday pregame show. We'll get you caught up on everything in high school sports that happened last night, what is on tap for tonight, and looking forward to our next broadcast, which is tomorrow night. The Taze Valley Vikings, co-MSL Buckeye champs, traveling to Marion Harding. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off. This is Division I boys, by the way. And we'll be on the air tomorrow night, somewhere around 6:50.
I think we're going to have to leave about 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Probably, as my nephew would say. Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. So tomorrow night, we'll have basketball for you there. I want to remind you that we had basketball last night, so we'll recap some of that for you here in just a bit. The gym floor at the Hat and also the field house at the O are being named after these two gentlemen. Tom Cuppett, one of the greatest individuals I've ever come across. He will have his name adorned on the floor of Hatton Memorial Gymnasium, which is named after Ellis B. Hatton, by the way, who was, I believe he was the Board of Education president at one point in time. And so when they built Chillicothe High School, where you see it now, they named that gymnasium Ellis B. Hatton Memorial Gymnasium. But Thomas Cuppett Court will be the name of the floor from this point on. And they'll be doing this sometime during the basketball season next year. Mm-hmm. Also, Dennis Murphy, who you see there, Murph has been around for ages, it seems. He's a Unioto kid. But converted. He has been tied to Chillicothe for a number of decades now. And he's also, both of these gentlemen are in the Chillicothe High School Athletic Hall of Fame as well. So it's really cool to get a chance to, in full disclosure, I'm on the naming facilities committee, and it was great to participate in the discussion about these fellows. Now, there was a 4-1 vote of approval by the school board. And just to go on record, I was not at the board meeting, but I was watching the YouTube version of it. And Bill Bonner was the no vote. And I got to hand it to Bill. He laid himself out there to take the brunt of all the complaints about, well, what could be wrong with this? You know, and he had the same thought that I had early on of naming a floor. But what happens to the likes of Ed Alexinus, Mr. Hatton himself, many of the other coaches who have participated in, what happens on the floor, and they play volleyball on that floor. So there's a lot of other individual names that could go on there. So during the discussion and during the presentation to the Chillicothe City School Board, there will also be a representation of signage for coaches who have made a great impact upon athletics at Chillicothe High School. So I think that's a great decision, a way to go. And for Tom Cuppett, when you think about him, he was also an administrator, athletic director for a number of years. And yes, he had a true impact on everybody that came through the school system at that time. So that give you a little insight on how that decision to make the proposal became about and voted on. And then this coming fall, we'll see some things into action.
You talk about Mr. Murphy being an immigrant from Unioto. Tom came from West Virginia, did he not?
Yeah. He was a great athlete in West Virginia, and he coached at West Virginia for a few years before coming here. I had an interesting conversation with this is horrible. Can't remember his last name. Osborne. Jim Osborne, who was the basketball coach for a long time, for like 40 years down at Gallia Academy. He said, Tom Cuppett beat me out for the job here at Chillicothe. He said, I could have been at Chillicothe all those years.
That.
But Tom Cuppett, when Chillicothe joined the SEOAL, Jim was the coach for tennis, for boys tennis at Gallia Academy. He had stepped away from the basketball position, and he and I had that conversation during a tennis tournament, and I'm like, you're kidding me. He said, you could have been the Tom Cuppett of Chillicothe.
How about that? Go back to that picture of Tom Cuppett. I just wonder how many of his former players could tell us how many times Tom had that expression during a practice session.
I would be willing to say the percentage is very low.
Very few. Talking to some of his former players and managers, Tom was pretty intense.
Tom was intense, but you know what? He was a super guy to hang around. He and I had many conversations over the years, and most of them would be right there in his office. And we would talk about the dinosaurs of the game. And he would Coach Carol Hawkey was one of the dinosaurs of the game. And all these guys came from the same sort of era and their impact upon the athletes that they were involved with. And he never claimed to be one of those dinosaurs, but he was one of those dinosaurs as well.
A lot of them cut out of the same cloth.
Yes.
Congratulations going out to the Ohio State women's basketball team. They've turned things around in the right direction. They are the undisputed regular season Big Ten champions. They took care of their business last night against that team up north, 67-51. This is their 15th consecutive win. They took a couple of bumps early in the year, but, man, when they got it turned on, they took off like a rocket. Now they'll have the Big Ten tournament and then certainly a high seed in the NCAA.
They've got Sunday. They'll face Iowa in Iowa City, which they knocked off Iowa at Ohio State, and I think that's really what fueled this run that they're on now.
Yeah.
But they've got one more shot at Caitlin Clark, or should we say Caitlin Clark has one more shot at them before they probably meet in the Big Ten tournament.
And Clark is chasing the great Pete Maravich for the all-time college scoring record. I don't want to be that guy that, get off my lawn, old man, but Pete Maravich never had the three-point line in his day, and Pete shot the ball from everywhere if you ever watched him play. So maybe an asterisk you want to put there.
From everywhere and in any fashion.
Yeah, behind his back.
He could do it all, man. Cleveland Cavaliers had a slip up last night. They fell to the Chicago Bulls. Doubles, 132 to 123. So that's how that goes there.
I think it was 115 when they went into overtime.
And think about the NBA. Take a look at this, and you see the records. Cleveland Cavaliers have won 10 more games than the Bulls have won this year, and they lose like that. Yeah. You just never know.
Had a 9-point lead at the end of the first quarter.
But it went into overtime.
Yeah.
Doubled overtime. So, again, 132 to 123. They say, let them know. So, hashtag, we let you know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Also, congratulations to former Chillicothe Paints catcher Michael Ryan on making the coaching ranks in the Miami Marlins minor league system. He has been with the Toledo Rockets baseball program here in recent years. Ryan appeared in 52 games with the Paints during the 2017 and 2018 seasons combined, batting .228 with 41 hits. And I think we got a picture here. There he is with his grandpa while he was with the Chillicothe Paints. That courtesy of Michael Ryan's Facebook page. So I thought we'd throw it out there too.
What level's the Rockets?
For Toledo?
Yeah.
Division I college. NCAA.
Okay, you're talking about college ball.
Yes.
I was thinking minor league.
No.
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
Because that's still the Mud Hens, right?
Yes.
Max Klinger. Forever the Mud Hens. Yeah.
Right. For those of you not knowing who Max Klinger is, that's a character on
MASH.
One of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of greatest of all time, pretty big movie. We'll talk about that on this day in history.
Oh, I thought you were talking about litter quality propane.
Well, they're one of the greatest of all time.
Are.
Too. You know, it's amazing how many different counties I see the litter quality propane trucks driving through. Well, Litter Quality Propane. Online all the time. Customer payment, account information, and more. Log on at litterpropane.com.
At Rathkamp Financial, we provide wealth management services that may ease clients' fears of financial loss and help them retire comfortably. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
He's worthy of the name Mike.
That's what my mom always said.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is that highlight of the day, this date in history.
Get your notes out, your pen, pencil. You got his pen, yeah. 1940.
Paper.
Gone with the Wind is honored with 8 Oscars by the American Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. An epic Southern romance set during the hard times of the Civil War, the movie swept the prestigious Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, Cinematography, Art Direction, Film Editing, and Actress categories. However, the most momentous award that night undoubtedly went to Hattie McDaniel for her portrayal of Mammy, a household maid and former enslaved woman. McDaniel, who won the Best Supporting Actress Academy Award, was the first African-American actress or actor ever to be honored with an Oscar. Congratulations, Hattie McDaniel.
And I'm not going to quote the line from the movie, which is perhaps the most famous line. And when I saw Gone with the Wind, which I've only sat down and watched it once, I thought, I waited all this movie to see that.
Yeah. And it's coming to a theater near you.
There's a major milestone coming up?
Well, they do this. They did this with Casablanca. Some of the classics, they bring them out for like 2 days all across the country. Because people our age, many of us have never seen these epic motion pictures that were made
the theater
60 years ago in the theater. Yeah. So I remember the first time I ever saw the 10 Commandments in the theater. It was at the Majestic. And that was, when they are going across the Red Sea. That was really epic to see all of that on that big screen coming together.
And I think that's the big key. It's a much larger screen than what you're seeing on the TV. Every year I seem to tune in a little bit at some point in time. They don't promote it like they used to. It's still on. I think ABC owns the rights. I don't know if at one point in time Disney will take it over in a special way, but when I say special, that's negatory.
Well, I think Disney owns ABC, don't they?
They do. They do. But so far, from what I've seen, they've pretty much been hands off to a classic like the 10 Commandments. But
don't mess with Moses.
Just never know. However, I don't know, was it there was a animated version here.
Prince of Egypt?
Yeah, Prince of Egypt.
That was DreamWorks.
Was it DreamWorks?
Yeah.
Okay. And DreamWorks is not associated with Disney. That's Pixar, right?
Yeah, Pixar is Disney.
DreamWorks is Spielberg.
Spielberg?
DreamWorks is DreamWorks, I think. I don't think there's any...
Well, didn't DreamWorks have like the E.T. bicycle thing going in its logo?
No, there's a guy fishing off of the moon.
That's what it is. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Our resident movie guy, Aaron Glenn.
Never seen Gone with the Wind, though.
His mother refuses to allow him to see that.
Is that right?
Being a Southern girl, she doesn't like the way that came out. Yeah.
It wasn't historically portrayed correctly of my people.
The War of Northern Aggression.
So are you able to bring that photo up?
Yeah, I'll put it right over your face.
Okay, cool. We were discussing this just a moment ago.
If it'll go in there.
Is it possible because it's an HEIC?
Yeah, that is what it is.
It just wasn't meant to be, my mom would say.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can...
maybe for tomorrow. While you're not here.
We can tweet it. We can put it in the comments of the Facebook post.
Yeah, we can do that. We were talking about the 3 trombones and a saxophone. And so I found the photo, which happened to pop up in memories yesterday of cousin Ryan, and he sent that to me, and I'm like, I'll be a son of a gun. There it is. And if you're watching through our feed here on Facebook right now, you'll see this photo at some point in time. Maybe show up.
If it'll let me put it in there.
And
maybe there's some copyright on it.
How do you comment with a photo on
from
Facebook?
The boys, they won't let you use their image on your show or something. Yeah. They want top billing or something. Yeah.
This is a guy who went to college for multimedia design, and he just asked, "How do you put an image in the comments on Facebook?"
I am Facebook illiterate.
Oh no! All right. Oh well.
The picture will make its appearance at some point in time.
Someday you'll see it.
Someday. Yes. Someday.
All right. So coming up tomorrow, we will have the daily program. No special events for you, but Mike and Aaron will have the show for you here on Litter Media Live. And then we'll be boarding the bus to head up to Marion Harding for the Taze Valley Vikings and Marion Harding Presidents.
That's their nickname.
That is their nickname.
Presidents.
You know why?
Well, sure, yeah, Marion, Mr. Harding, President Harding.
Not Marion Harding.
Yeah.
That was Warren G. Harding, right?
Maybe we can go to the monument while we're up there.
I've never been to the monument.
Yeah. I think I drove by it, but I didn't stop to see it.
You know, I was on the air in Marion for a while, and so I made a trip up through there at one point in time just to kind of get the lay of the land so I would sound like I knew what I was talking about on some things. And then... let's see, Matt Bruning and I made a trip together to Mansfield, and we rode with the Ohio Air National Guard up there for a flight they were giving. We flew up around Cedar Point and everything in this plane that was having its days come to an end. There were several governmental types there.
Hopefully it landed first.
Well, but some of the governmental types were there because they were there to defend this plane and keeping it in action and all. And so that's why we were there, part of the OAB. But it was cool experience to get to do that. But I've not been around Marion to see the memorial.
And by the time we get there, it could be dark. We still might not.
It could be, so we may have to leave earlier if you want to truly make it an Ohio
that's okay.
trip.
I've seen pictures of it.
A day trip. Yeah, it's a little easier.
Yeah.
Google. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll have our Litter Media Game of the Week preview show, which will feature that game we were talking about and also some results from last night. Plus, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. So that's all coming up in a moment here on Litter Media. For those of you listening to Litter Media Radio Live, we'll talk to you soon. For those of you watching, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on YouTube and Facebook again in just a moment.